你得回动哦，你得回动哦。President, Diana, one person that. Thank you. SIA Mexico Village.
Attention, please. The academic board possession and the rector possession is on the way. Stay tight to the hall. Let's give them standing ovation. Shall we remain standing as we recite the national anthem and the Rugipo anthem? Thank you very much. You may be seated, please. Once again, I say good afternoon to our distinguished principal officers, all members of management, deans, directors of directorates, staff, matriculating students, all invited guests, and gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. You are most welcome to this 33rd matriculation ceremony of Rufus Giwa Polytechnic for the new admitted students into the 2025-2026 academic session. Without wasting any of your time, it is my pleasure this afternoon to introduce and recognize the #1 citizen of this citadel of learning, our amiable acting rector, person of Dr. Olorunwa Simon Adegun. You're most welcome, sir. Permit me to also recognize the acting registrar, Mr. O.M. Oloye. You're most welcome, sir. I recognize Deputy Bossa representing the acting Bossa, the person of Mr. Ajibade Oriade. You are most welcome, sir. It is my pleasure to also recognize the coordinator library services, Dr. S.K. Ayodele. You are most welcome, sir. It is my pleasure to recognize the representative of the chairman committee of Dean this afternoon, the person of Mr. H.O. Ademulegun. You are most welcome, sir. Permit me to recognize the AAR to the rector, the person of Mr. Gbenga Ademiluyi. You are most welcome. I recognize the director, academic affairs, Mr. A.I. Ayodeji. You are most welcome. Permit me to recognize the director, academic board, person of Mr. Dotun Arijenewa. You're most welcome. It is my pleasure to recognize the director of student affairs, Mr. Bayo Elebute. You are most welcome, sir. It is my pleasure to also recognize the representative of the director of Health Services, the person of Mr. N.F. Okoro. You are most welcome. Thank you very much. I am pleased this afternoon to also recognize the representative of the JAMB Joint Admission Matriculation Board, the person of Mr. Abdulaziz Abdurrahman. You are most welcome, sir. Please usher him to the high table, please. He's been accompanied by Mr. Adeni Majasion. Please, let's give them a round of applause. Thank you very much, sir. Yes, we are gathered here today because of these wonderful students, newly admitted students of Rufus Giwa Polytechnic, and their representatives are here. We have here the president of the SUG. I am using him as a point of contact to all executive members of the Students' Union Government of Rufus Giwa Polytechnic. Comrade Onile Olani Imayowa, you are most welcome. I am using Comrade Adebayo Divine Praise, the Senate President, as point of contact to all the student representatives here present. Please, let's jam our hands together for him. I am using the chairman of part-time Students' Union Government, the person of Comrade Temitope Balogun, to also extend our recognition to all members of that group. The chairman, Council of Governors, Rufus Giwa Polytechnic, as a point of contact to all members of Council of Governors, Folorunsho Opeyemi, and the students' Miss Biara, Olalusi Oluwadamilare. Thank you very much. Permit me to recognize the Rufus Giwa Polytechnic Miss Biara, the person of Mr. Bashar. Please, a round of applause for him, please. Now, to the business of the day. It is my pleasure to invite the acting registrar, Mr. O.M. Oloye, to please preside over this ceremony and guide us. A round of applause for him, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to today's program. And quickly, we go into the business of the day. I now have the honor to call the acting rector of this institution, Rufus Giwa Polytechnic, Dr. Olorunwa Simeon Adegun, to constitute this assembly as a congregation for the purpose of matriculating the fresh students of this institution on this day, the 33 matriculation ceremony. My rector, sir.
By the power conferred on me as the rector of this noble institution, I hereby constitute this gathering as matriculation ground. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I now invite, today is a special day, of course. On behalf of our deans, I now invite the acting rector to deliver his address. Sir.
Fellow principal officers, faculty of deans and director of directorates, departmental units and heads, leaders of worker union here in the institution, the student union president and other student union leaders, representative of JAMB, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, stability of academic calendar. Expectedly, it is with great delight that I am here today to preside over a ceremony which marks the conclusion of the 2025-26 admission exercise here in the institution. As we are all aware, matriculation ceremony is the concluding part of admission exercise, implying that admission of a new student in the 2025-26 academic session is being concluded today with this fantastic ceremony. While congratulating you, our new student, on your success with the admission exercise under reference, I challenge you to remain very conscious of the primary purpose of your stay here in the institution, which is academic pursuit. As witnessed in every human society, there are several distracting activities in our tertiary institution, some of which reflect highly tempting capacity. Students who allow themselves to be successfully distracted by such activities put their academic career on the line, both in terms of completion and the quality of completion. While you are encouraged to participate decently in out-of-class activities, which include sports, such participation should not be at the expense of the primary purpose of your stay in the institution, which is stated earlier in academic pursuit. Noting that you have been taken through a schedule of orientation program during which your attention was drawn to the institution traditions, norms, and general code of conduct, you are expected to keep conducting yourself responsibly and within the summit of institutional rules and regulations. And I'm particularly glad the way you conducted yourself during the orientation exercise. I want to say that you are one of the finest students that have been admitted so far in this institution. As clearly reflected in the institution student information handbook, a copy of which is to be made available for each of you. The institution has a robust grievance procedure which students are to explore in presenting grievances, even whenever they arise. In this regard, no student is expected to adopt any self-help option. it is appropriate and fair to place on record the efforts of the Ondo State Governor and visitor to the institution regarding its determined bid to give this institution a comprehensive facelift, which it obviously deserves. The effort of His Excellency, Honorable Dr. Lucky Orimisan Ayetwa in this regard, and as clarified later, remain unprecedented. Rugipo Polytechnic community and the entire public still remain pleasantly shocked by how decisively and promptly Mr. Governor rescued the institution from the bottoms where it was grasping for life when Mr. Governor assumed office. I hope we'll give him a round of applause at this juncture. Accreditation of the institution by releasing the fund, with the accreditation of 68 academic programs were carried out. And as I'm talking to you, in the next round of accreditation of programs will be conducted here on this campus. And that unruly act, stand a clear risk of losing their studentship, while giving assurance that management under my leadership will sustain effort aimed at making the Polytechnic campus a very safe, secured environment which is learning friendly. I call on both returning and fresh students to pay approved fees and complete registration formalities as made mandatory by extant procedure. On this note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I congratulate our fresh students once again, and I wish them a very pleasant stay in the institution. I thank you all.